Welcome to One Big Question. Today we witness the incredible journey of raising a fierce fire ant colony from scratch. These tiny creatures, known scientifically as Solenopsis, possess an aggressive nature and a highly organized social structure that demands respect. Our story begins on day one with a single solitary queen safely enclosed inside a simple glass test tube setup. She has shed her wings and is now fully dedicated to laying the very first batch of tiny white eggs. For weeks, she tirelessly cares for her brood, using her own stored body energy to feed the small, hungry larvae. Finally, the first generation of worker ants emerges tiny but incredibly fiercely loyal to their mother and their new home. These initial workers, known as nanitics, are smaller than normal, but they take over all foraging and nest maintenance duties. During the first 30 days, our primary focus is carefully transferring the small starter colony into their brand new habitat. We carefully connect their initial test tube to a spacious outworld, providing them a designated area for hunting and foraging. The workers tentatively explore the new terrain, laying down invisible chemical trails to guide their sisters toward potential food sources. Fire ants are relentless builders and explorers, constantly mapping their environment to ensure the survival and growth of their queen. They quickly establish a perimeter around their nest entrance, guarding it fiercely against any potential intruders or dangerous outside threats. Within just a few weeks, the queen begins laying hundreds of tiny white eggs, rapidly expanding the growing workforce population. Worker ants meticulously tend to the developing brood, feeding the hungry larvae and keeping the nest perfectly clean and organized. The colony requires a constant supply of fresh water and sugary liquids to maintain their high energy levels during development. We provide them with sweet honey drops, which the workers rapidly consume and store inside their specially adapted social stomachs. They return to the nest, sharing this sweet liquid with the rest of the colony through a process called trophallaxis. As the colony numbers multiply, their demand for protein skyrockets, signaling that it is time for their very first challenge. We introduce a simple mealworm into the outworld, testing the basic coordination and hunting instincts of our young ant colony. The mealworm burrows slightly into the sand, trying to hide from the patrolling ants that are constantly scouring the area. A lone scout quickly discovers the wriggling mealworm, immediately rushing back to the nest to alert the awaiting soldier ants. Dozens of furious workers pour out of the entrance, swarming the mealworm and latching onto its vulnerable soft leg joints. The mealworm thrashes wildly, but the ants hold on tightly, injecting powerful venom that slowly immobilizes their struggling, desperate prey. This highly coordinated attack demonstrates the terrifying efficiency of fire ants working together seamlessly to take down much larger opponents. The venom acts quickly, breaking down the internal tissues of the mealworm and making it much easier to pull apart. Once the mealworm is completely subdued, the workers begin dismantling the nutritious prize, carrying precious meat back to the larvae. Inside the nest, the hungry larvae consume the protein, eagerly growing rapidly and preparing to spin their protective silk cocoons. The influx of high-quality protein fuels an incredible population boom, transforming our small starter colony into a massive army. The nest chambers are now overflowing with thousands of energetic workers, creating a mesmerizing, shifting sea of red and brown. The queen continues her vital duty, laying countless eggs every single day to replace older workers and expand the empire. Observing them closely reveals a highly complex society where every individual ant knows exactly what specific task they must perform. Some ants specialize in nursing the young, while others become dedicated foragers or fierce soldiers, protecting the vital nest entrances. By day 60, the ants have become incredibly industrious, constantly excavating the hydration cotton and altering their carefully designed environment. They pull tiny fibers from the moisture source, trying to build customized walls and blockades inside their artificial glass home. Disaster strikes when their relentless digging punctures the water reservoir, causing a sudden and dangerous flood inside the main chambers. Panic ensues as the workers desperately grab the precious brood-moving eggs and larvae away from the rapidly rising water. The water level rises dangerously fast, threatening to drown the queen and completely destroy weeks of hard work and growth. We must intervene immediately, initiating an emergency transfer to a much larger, highly advanced, and significantly more secure formicarium setup. We connect the flooded nest to the new enclosure, hoping the ants will naturally migrate toward the dry, safe environment. The chaotic evacuation process proves incredibly difficult, as thousands of angry fire ants swarm everywhere, aggressively defending their flooded home. They view my large hands as a massive threat, rushing upward to bite and sting anything that crosses their path. Despite wearing protective gloves, a few furious workers manage to slip through, delivering painful, burning stings to my exposed skin. The pain is sharp and intense, a stark reminder of the potent defensive capabilities possessed by these tiny, aggressive creatures. I carefully brush them off and continue the delicate transfer process, ensuring the queen is safely moved without any harm. Eventually, the massive colony safely relocates into the modern nest, quickly organizing their brood into the perfectly climate-controlled chambers. This new enclosure features complex tunnels and multiple levels, providing ample space for the thousands of ants to thrive comfortably. The workers spend days cleaning the new habitat, removing debris, and establishing clear pathways for efficient movement throughout the nest. They designate specific chambers for food storage, waste disposal, and dedicated nurseries for the rapidly growing piles of new brood. With the crisis averted and the population stronger than ever, we prepare to introduce the second, much more difficult challenge. A giant grasshopper is dropped into the arena, boasting a tough exoskeleton and incredibly powerful hind legs for sudden escapes. This massive insect represents a significant step up in difficulty, requiring advanced swarm tactics and relentless persistence to properly defeat. The grasshopper leaps erratically around the outworld, causing initial confusion among the patrolling fire ant scouts searching for their prey. Its massive kicks easily send individual ants flying across the arena, preventing them from securing a firm grip on it. The thick armor of the grasshopper presents a formidable defense, making it very difficult for the tiny mandibles to penetrate. The ants realize they must change their strategy, focusing entirely on the softer joints connecting the massive legs and body. In a fatal miscalculation, the giant insect accidentally jumps directly into the main entrance tube, leading straight into the nest. Instantly, the entire colony erupts in pure fury, unleashing a relentless wave of thousands of defenders upon the trapped intruder. The confined space prevents the grasshopper from using its powerful jumping legs, leaving it completely vulnerable to the massive swarm. Ants pour over the struggling insect, biting at the sensitive joints and continuously pumping venom into its rapidly weakening body. The sheer numbers overwhelm the large prey, proving that even the strongest armor cannot withstand a coordinated massive ant assault. The grasshopper kicks weakly a few final times before the potent venom completely paralyzes its nervous system and stops movement. Within minutes, the giant grasshopper stops moving entirely, becoming a monumental feast that will sustain the colony for several days. The workers efficiently butcher the massive insect, transporting large chunks of protein deep into the nest to feed the young. This victory solidifies the dominance of the colony, showcasing their remarkable ability to adapt and conquer incredibly tough environmental challenges. The queen rewards this massive influx of food by laying her largest batch of eggs, yet ensuring continuous future growth. The new nest is quickly becoming fully populated, with every single tunnel and chamber bustling with vibrant red ant activity. We observe fascinating behaviors like collective sleeping patterns and intricate grooming rituals that keep the entire colony healthy and strong. The ants constantly clean each other, removing harmful fungal spores or dangerous bacteria that could potentially wipe out the nest. As we approach day 100, the fire ant empire has reached an astonishing scale of over 10,000 individuals. The outworld is constantly patrolled by hundreds of aggressive soldiers ready to attack anything that dares to enter their territory. The nest is a bustling metropolis of continuous activity, with specialized workers managing waste disposal, food storage, and brood care. The sheer biomass of the colony is incredibly impressive, a testament to the power of highly organized social insect cooperation. It is finally time for the ultimate test, a confrontation with a highly dangerous predator that possesses its own venom. We introduce a giant spider into the arena, setting the stage for an epic battle between two incredibly fierce hunters. This massive arachnid is fast, agile, and equipped with deadly fangs, capable of crushing dozens of ants in mere seconds. The spider immediately senses the danger, raising its front legs in a defensive posture and baring its sharp, venomous fangs. It slowly backs into a corner, trying to minimize its exposed angles and keep the swarming ants directly in front. A group of scout ants approaches cautiously, but the spider strikes with lightning speed, instantly killing two of the workers. The deaths trigger an immediate chemical alarm, spreading a frantic signal throughout the entire colony to mobilize the standing army. Thousands of angry fire ants flood into the outworld, forming a terrifying red carpet of pure aggression, moving relentlessly forward. The spider attempts to retreat, climbing the slippery glass walls, but the relentless ants pursue it with absolutely no hesitation. The arachnid jumps back down, crushing several ants beneath its heavy body, but the swarm simply absorbs the minor losses. A few brave soldiers manage to grab onto the long, hairy legs of the spider, firmly anchoring it to the ground. The spider thrashes violently, shaking off several attackers, but more ants quickly rush in to take their fallen sisters' places. The coordinated assault focuses entirely on the vulnerable joints of the spider legs, where the ants can easily inject venom. Dozens of stingers repeatedly pierce the soft tissue, delivering microdoses of toxic venom that rapidly accumulate inside the spider. The spider bites frantically in every direction, but its massive fangs are practically useless against such tiny and numerous targets. Slowly, the potent fire ant venom begins to take effect, causing the massive spider to lose coordination and physical strength. Its movements become sluggish and uncoordinated as the neurotoxins shut down its nervous system and paralyze its long muscular legs. The sheer volume of venom pumped into the predator paralyzes its vital systems, rendering its massive fangs completely useless now. The giant spider collapses under the weight of thousands of biting ants, marking a definitive victory for the unstoppable colony. This incredible battle highlights the true power of the swarm, where individual weakness is entirely overcome by massive collective strength. The defeated spider is dragged back toward the nest entrance, a monumental trophy that will provide immense nourishment and energy. It takes hundreds of workers pulling together in perfect unison to move the massive heavy carcass across the sandy outworld. Once inside the nest, the butchering process begins immediately, as specialized workers carefully dismember the giant spider into manageable pieces. The rich, nutritious meat is quickly distributed among the thousands of hungry larvae, ensuring the next generation will grow strong. Looking back at the incredible journey we have witnessed, the miraculous transformation of a single queen into a massive empire. From a tiny, fragile test tube setup to a sprawling, complex metropolis, these fire ants have conquered every single obstacle. They survived a devastating internal flood, successfully relocated to a new home, and defeated 3 incredibly dangerous and massive predators. Their success relies entirely on their absolute selflessness, where every single individual is willing to sacrifice themselves for the colony. This collective mind operates as a single massive superorganism, making highly complex decisions without any central leadership or direct commands. The queen may be the heart of the colony, but the true brain is the collective intelligence of the swarm. Nature constantly reminds us that true power does not always come from massive physical size or incredibly tough, heavy armor. Sometimes the most unstoppable force on the entire planet is simply the unbreakable unity and flawless cooperation of tiny individuals. As the colony continues to expand and thrive, we can only wonder what incredible new challenges they will face next. Their journey is far from over, and their massive underground empire will undoubtedly continue to grow larger and much stronger. We will continue to monitor their fascinating progress, closely bringing you more incredible updates from this amazing miniature alien world. Thank you so much for joining us on this spectacular journey into the hidden and brutal realm of fire ants. If you enjoyed this detailed documentary, please make sure to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know which epic insect battle you found the most fascinating and what creatures we should feature next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our future wildlife adventures. This has been One Big Question, where we explore the fascinating mysteries of nature. Until next time, stay incredibly curious